Hello, violas. Today we're going to be working on Westward Journey and Jubilee by Carrie Lane Grussell, and we're going to do this passage that starts at 21 and goes through measure 49. So this one is for you. You're going to have a rhythmic part, and we call it an ostinato when you're playing the same thing over and over, and you're going to be accompanying the other instruments. Your part is completely different than what anybody else plays here, so it's an important part, and it is mostly pizzicato. Now, they have indicated that the pizzicato is to be played divisi, which means that you play either the top or the bottom note. However, in your orchestra, if you are short on violas, it is possible to play both of the pizzicato notes, and so you're welcome to do so if you feel comfortable doing that. You would just use two fingers to pluck. So let's go ahead and go through from the beginning, and we're going to be looking at figuring out the rhythm, which once you get it, it's not that tricky of a rhythm, but it does kind of feel a little bit syncopated at first. So starting at 21, we've got so that is pretty much up to tempo. We're going to go ahead and play it slow all the way through together before we try playing it with the background, but I'm going to demonstrate the passages up to tempo just so you kind of know how they're going to feel up to tempo. So after you get to the downbeat of 23, what you're going to do, what I would suggest to do is while you're getting your bow situated, you can go ahead and use your left hand to pluck those. It's not going to be as resonant of a plucking sound, but you're going to be able to get those open strings, whether you're doing the one note or both the notes. You can go ahead and use your left hand for the transition. So you should be able to get your bow put into your hand, and your thumb on the corner of the fingerboard as an anchor for the second pizzicato note, probably not for the first one. So again, that's going to look like. Might take you a little bit to get the hang of that. Now once you're in there, you're just going. I'm using my first finger and my second finger, and so my first finger is plucking the A string and my second finger is plucking the D string. So I'm going to go ahead and do both. So starting at measure 23, we've got. Now here's about where we lose count of where we are, because you've played the same measure several times now, and after about 3 times it's really easy to lose track of where we are. So I would really recommend that you learn how your part fits in with the melody here and what it sounds like with the melody when your notes change. In measure 29, you change to B and D, and then back to A and D. Again at 33. Now, if you're doing both notes at 36, so your B and your A, same chord changes, but they're going down an octave, so you're making a tunnel over your D string. And those last couple ones there, I would go ahead and use, even if it's not the best sound, use your left hand to pluck those, whether you're doing one or both, so that your bow is on the string for that part. Okay, so the pizzicato part, just make sure that you're really plucking nice and loudly, because this is an important rhythmic part, and it's really important that we have a groove going in the viola section there. Going on to the arco part, where you are playing some melody here, pick up to 39. One, two, three, four. So that's a little bit of a tricky spot with the da-da-dun-dun, some tricky rhythm. So I'd say break it down nice and slow. So 41. At 43, you're welcome to play both notes as a double stop. It is D and A, so just your open strings is fine. So, all right, now we're going to set the metronome at 100 and play through it slightly under tempo. The concert tempo for this one is 120 is what is recommended. So here we go, 100. And we'll just go ahead and play all the way through it starting at 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And we won't worry about those next couple of notes because they really belong to the next section. Let's go ahead and try now playing it with the backing and up to tempo. Okay, so it kind of cooks along up to tempo, but just make sure, just remember that you do not have to play both the top and the bottom note in the pizzicato section if you're not comfortable with that. Only do that if you want to, and maybe if you're a little bit light on violas, that will help to fill in the notes a little bit louder, because that is an important part, and it is only the violas playing it. Nobody else is playing that with you. So I'd say feel free to, play it out nice and strong, and with both notes if you can. With the second section that is Arco, starting at 39, just break it into chunks. Start slow, make sure that you're really figuring out the rhythms, and the more that you play in this style, the easier it'll get with your bow. So good luck and happy practicing.